In the year of our Keranos, 2023, can we actually win games of Legacy by giving our opponents permanents? Let's find out. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and today we're trying to make donate work in Legacy. And I think to explain kind of my starting direction for this, I need to go on a brief history lesson of why making a player gain control of one of your permanents might actually be good. Way back in the day, there was this deck known as Tricks that would donate an Illusions of Grandeur to your opponent. So you would play the illusions, you would gain 20 life, and then you would donate it to your opponent. After a turn or two, they can't pay for the cumulative upkeep anymore, and oh no, they lose 20 life, and the game is over. However, there's a problem in current Legacy, or rather, multiple problems. So, number one, ways to destroy enchantments have become more common, with things like Boseiju being relatively common, Assassin's Trophy, bounce spells. There's a lot more ways to answer this. But more importantly, at number two, there's cards like Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, that just will gain your opponent 3 life. Just a tiny, tiny 3 life, making this no longer a relevant combo kill. That's a bit of a problem and means that this can't be the angle that we choose to try to kill our opponent with Donate. So this brings us to the thing we actually are going to try today, which is Demonic Pact. So you may have seen this in other formats where Harmless Offering, which is a donate but it has a picture of a cat on it, was used to give this to your opponent. The idea here being that you deal 4 damage to something, you gain the life, you make your opponent discard 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, then you give it to your opponent and you make them lose the game off the trigger. So this is something that is not going to necessarily be stopped by an appropriate life total, and although super questionable in terms of power level, this is a card that does give you a lot of value in a similar way that a Planeswalker might in Legacy. So let's take a look at the deck list that we're actually going to try out today now. Alright, Michael, you wanted me to brew around Donate. Well, buddy, I've done it. So the idea is that we are going to play a blue-black control deck that has the Donate Demonic Pact as its combo finish. And we're going to throw some copies of Fairy Mastermind in here because I've been super impressed with this card recently. Otherwise, we're going to do a lot of things that are very traditional to a blue-black shell. One thing that's kind of cute here is Echoing Truth. When you draw something like that off of Fairy Mastermind, it's a totally reasonable tempo play. But if we just need to play a control game, or we need an emergency exit to our own Demonic Pact, this can also just bounce the Demonic Pact before it makes us lose the game. So, notably here, I'm not including some very reasonable cards, like say Murktide Regent, because I don't want this league to be, can I get some game wins with Murktide Regent while Demonic Pact happens to be in my deck list. That's not what I'm going for. Instead, I'm going, can we win even just one game, one match, by Demonic Pacting our opponent out of the game with Donate? That's what I care about today. And I've tried to make a very reasonable blue-black control deck list that doesn't really have great win conditions. Like Baleful Strix and Fairy Mastermind are not very good at just getting the opponent dead. So let's hop into the matches here and see if we can actually donate somebody to death here. Alright, I'm trying something very different with the editing for the intro today. Let me know in the comments down below whether you like this or not, and that will dictate whether or not I keep trying things like this in the future. Alright, let's battle. Phil from the future here. If you have a limited amount of time, don't miss round 3. It's my favorite round of this league. Alright, let's get to it here. And by the way, today's video is sponsored by cardconduit.com. We'll take a look at them a little bit later on. We have a reasonable hand here that will let us force of will something unfair our opponent is doing, while also being able to brainstorm and fetch. And if we find a Demonic Pact, cool. If we don't, we can try to play a reasonable control game for a little while. I am not gonna bite on a Chrome Mox here. Narcomoeba? That's a Narcomoeba. Ooh, we're playing against Oops All spells in all likelihood. I'm going to let that go and force the Enabler. This breaks my heart to do. I believe I need to Force of Will pitching the Donate, because I think I'm going to need to Force of Will multiple times this game. And I think against a deck like Oops All spells, it's just way too ooh, punished. I put back a land. I'm not ready for Demonic Pact yet. Go ahead and put that back. I'm going to preemptively fetch here, grabbing an Underground Sea. I'm going to hold Ponder to pitch to Force of Will if I need to do that. Anyway, against a deck like Oops, I think, yeah, you can do that all day. I think I'm more likely to win in combat with small to medium-sized creatures than I am to be able to wait out all of the turns of a Demonic Pact. And I think we just drop Vista and call it a turn. Narcomoeba does not come in swinging. Let's start with a Ponder. I would not be embarrassed to play Thoughtseize and Baleful Strix this turn. No shuffle. I'll fetch a basic Swamp here. Guess technically I probably want to do this now. Thoughtseize and Thassa's Oracle. The Thassa's Oracle can stay in, and it's sort of awkward there. I'll go ahead and take a Summoner's Pact. Drop a Strix. Fairy Mastermind's great. Literally just a creature with 2 points of power, which is what I care about right now. Alright. Would you like to send your Narcomoeba into combat? Negative. Double Fairy Mastermind. What can it mean? So, in case it's not clear, my opponent wants to keep this Narcomoeba in play because of the possibilities of Dread Return. My opponent's lines are definitely awkward with like a Narcomoeba in play, another Narcomoeba under a Chrome Mox, and the Thassa's Oracle in hand. Your Dark Ritual resolves. Oh, neat. It's just a hard cast Dread Return targeting that. That's going to be a nope from me. And then end of turn, we will go ahead and drop a pair of these. I don't have another counterspell just at the go, at the ready here. But I do have a gajillion power in play. Alright, they are going to opt to trade for a Fairy Mastermind, which is totally reasonable. Otherwise, if I activated Fairy Mastermind's ability, I would be drawing 3 cards as sort of a repeatable thing that I can just do. Alright, that's a tapped land. I don't think I'm interested in drawing a card here. Yes. Send one in. Opponent goes to 6. And I'll take a level in Warlock, getting a Demonic Pact. Let's go, baby. This does kill my opponent a turn earlier. The 4 damage is relevant here. Okay, that's good enough for a game 1 win. So, I have a lot of things I can do. Bonus counterspells are probably important. We're probably not quite interested in Energy Flux or Null Rod. Null Rod is more tempting. Back to basics is slow, but not crazy. Surgical extractions are reasonable, especially when backed by counter magic. Never bringing in a Shoulder's Edict. So I don't think I'm super interested in trying to beat these lines where my opponent passes the turn with like a Balustrade Spy in play that they were 1 mana short of activating. I think it's probably more important to try to stop them in the first place, which means probably bringing in this giant pile of stuff. This is a lot of interaction. And unfortunately, although I want to win games with Donate Demonic Pact, I probably go down quite a few of those here against a combo deck that is this fast, that is just turn 1 fast. I might need to just kind of go crazy in terms of playing too much interaction and just literally killing my opponent with small creatures. Demonic Pact is really my source of card advantage, though. I keep a couple of those with no way to give it up. That seems sketchy. Maybe I'll play an Echoing Truth or two. It's not exciting, but it can mess up some lines that my opponent takes. This has a Force of Will when I'm on the draw, and a Ponder to find my second land. This is perfectly keepable. It also just has a handful of creatures, while I would prefer a handful of counterspells, because it's just safer. This ain't bad. My opponent's on 6 cards. They're just leading off with a tapped land. That's fine. We're gonna Ponder, looking for land. No. I don't think I can shuffle that. I don't think I have the willpower to shuffle that hand. I think it's too good. No shuffle. That's another green land. So I'm going to cast this here, even though I might brainstorm lock myself. I did not. Echoing Truth will go back. Probably Plague Engineer since it is not blue. I'll play a Delta. I am just going to fetch immediately and call it a turn. I need to get a clock in play, and I'm not sure which one of these it's going to be, but I need it. Once that happens, I just have a very good amount of disruption. Yep, petals are fine. Not fighting over those. Still not fighting over those. Alright, opponent's just chilling. Alright, I made my land drop. Do I do the Fairy Mastermind in their turn? Or do I just do Strix now, since it cantrips? I think I do the Fairy Mastermind in their turn. This allows me to hold up the greatest number of Force of Wills, in case everything just absolutely goes wrong. End of turn Fairy. I love this card. Holy counterspells, Batman. Get in there for 2. Guess we'll play a Strix. Cool. Got just a couple copies of counterspells available. Cabal Therapy is kind of awkward. Alright, looks like we've just got more time. Land drops are great. Send them. Opponent's at 15. I grab a basic here and play a Strix. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just take my opponent's Spy here. It's their only sort of relevant card. And we'll move on. Summoner's Pact notably searches for a green creature card. So just in case you think that they can just immediately go and get another Spy, that's not how that works. Oh my god. I might have just accidentally designed a really good deck that just happens to have Donate and Demonic Pact in it, because it feels like I'm being a bully. And usually I only do that when I cast like Thalia's and Chalice of the Void. Cabal Ritual occurs. That is a Dread Return. That is a perfect Force of Negation target, as that exiles. Force of Negation, maybe pitching Minor Misstep. Goodbye. A Pact of Negation. I think I let Pact resolve now. And then Surgical the Spy. I can pay a mana for that. Oop. Alright, goodbye, Spy, 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 Spy. Is there anything interesting in here? Not really. 1 Oracle, 1 Foundation Breaker, and Memory's Journey. Okay. Dread Return here now has no targets, and hence is countered. Every card I draw is just fire. 4 more damage. That'll drop my opponent to 7. And then there's this whole Pact of Negation thing. Blue, blue, 1, 2, and then they'll exile Spirit Guide. We'll end of turn Fairy Mastermind. I don't think I need to cast a Brainstorm here. I'll hit my opponent for 6, and then have many counter spells available afterwards. Okay, yeah, and we get match 1 in a very impressive fashion. Today's video is sponsored by Card Conduit. Selling cards kinda sucks. Card Conduit's trying to make it easier, and they do that by taking all the best buy list prices and aggregating it for you. And they give you the best possible buy list price for your cards. They take a small cut, but even after doing that, you usually end up getting about 19% more than any one specific buy list. And if you want to try this out, use promo code ThrabenU to save some on your fees. Okay, let's continue our quest to try and do something cool with Demonic Pact and Donate. Our opponent's deck in the first round was just altogether too fast. It just wasn't realistic to try to do the thing our deck is designed to do. Luckily, Plan B was really good. Oh, just don't give me 5 rounds of combo in a row. Unmask, targeting them. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So we lose game 1 for just being on the draw here. My opponent just reanimates an Archon of Cruelty. I technically have outs to this. I'm going to continue playing. But it's pretty bad. So next turn, I need to cast one of my 2 edicts to stay in this game. I'm going to go ahead and play Vista and pass. My opponent notably has Unmarked Grave in their deck. I thought was going to be a little bit more of a legacy player than it actually was. I am at 8. Oh no, there's more. This is Unmarked Grave into Exhume for Sire of Insanity. I needed the world's most perfect brainstorm here, okay? I need to find Force of Will to counter this, then I need to find Sheoldred's Edict. I only found half of that, and I can't fetch to clear. I am discarding all of these cards. That's it. GG. We're going to end up sideboarding pretty similarly to last round. Force of Negations in, all the counter spells in, this in. I might need Sheoldred's Edict. I'm not interested in Back to Basics or Plague Engineer this time, and I don't think Null Rod's strong enough. I think we're looking at a 9 for 9 that looks like this, that just straight has us playing a blue-black control role. We need a slower matchup to do the whole Demonic Pact Donate thing. There's just no way I can expect 4 turns for Demonic Pact to do its thing against a turn 1 combo deck. This is absolutely reasonable. Like, I'm very happy with how these hands are looking here. Try to bully our... What just happened? Shindy's a fucking baller. Oh my god, what a fucking blowout. Oh my god. Okay. I think I can leave Seasoned Dungeoneer stranded in hand a decent portion of the time. Oh my god, this turn's so tough now. Like... Oh, they won the challenge on Sunday with this. I actually might just take Chromox here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take Chromox and try to leave them without the necessary mana to do the things that they want to do. They say they deal with more angry people than anything. Alright. Lotus Petal occurs. Collective Brutality gets junked to Grief. My Force of Negation does not answer. I actually lost the Brainstorm there. They just want the perfect information, which is fair. They can use the Unmask to deal with my Force of Negation. Man, they're just gonna like Grief reanimate me too. Like, there's probably still some number of those in there. This deck's so cool. Okay, seems like we are in a bit of a holding pattern here. I think I play Swamp into Strix here. Now I have a way to threaten an initiative creature, or threaten to take the initiative, rather. Oh, untapping here is actually really huge. Like, that means I have hard cast Force of Negation backed by a regular old Force of Negation. Alright, opponent not willing to go for it yet. That's fine. I've only got 18 more attack steps to go. There's an Undercrypt, not willing to come into play untapped. Take 3 turns off the clock. Smart. A Thoughtseize. That's probably pretty good. Dismiss these. Do I do it now? Because it means that I have to pitch cast a Force of Negation. I probably still do it. Yeah. My Force of Negations specifically are a bit of a problem here. They work for another turn or two, and then they stop working. Might need to take Unmask here. Let's just not let my opponent fight back against the stuff that's in my hand. Yeah, this is why I didn't want to play Thoughtseize. I'll do it. I think I pitched the other Force of Negation here. Okay, this is fine. So let's brainstorm. The number of cards in their graveyard. Cool, that's gonna counter one of these, and then I'll probably Surgical Extract it on the way back down. Yeah, I think we're getting rid of the blue cards here. I think we're shifting into black card mode. The Peck of Death. It comes for us all. See, there's the 4th card in graveyard that I need. Okay, so the real question here is, do I let it resolve so I can take the initiative? I think the answer is yes. My 3/3 Baleful Strix is like really good. Gives them an extra land though, which I don't like. Initiative's so good for me right now though. That next land is stellar for them. Yeah, I'm gonna counter it. I'm not sure if that's correct. Got a stop on their draw step. Go ahead and go and extract that. Also, I thought I fetched. Alright. Pay the mana, extract Passageway Seer. Bam, 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 bam. Those are gone. My opponent's got a Dark Ritual, a Swamp, 2 Seasoned Dungeoneers. Okay, so this time this happens. I can remember their hand. Each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. Bam. And I am just having this lingering thing that I might not have fetched already. I am just going to go ahead and do that. I don't really want Echoing Truth here. I'll take the initiative, pick up an island, play it, and pass. Grief. Evoked Grief is a little annoying here. It's a 2-for-1 that's not in my opponent's favor. So I'll lose my Sudden Edict. My opponent plays Seasoned Dungeoneer. They'll get the initiative back. I assume they get forced down the right side here, yep. Alright, 1 top, 1 bottom. I think I'm actually just going to wait until my turn to Echoing Truth it. If I draw a removal spell, I would rather just remove this forever. But I did not. I'll attack you, take the initiative. I think I just forge up my Strix. Like, increasing my clock matters so much right now. And I'm going to Echoing Truth it on their turn to increase my count for Flusterstorm. This is attack. Yeah. Actually, it's better. Is it better to let them attack and take it that way? If I let them attack, I give up 3 to 4 points of life. In exchange, Seasoned Dungeoneer is not in play for next turn. Yeah, I think it's better to take the hit here. This is protection from creatures. Dealing Collective Brutality. Collective Brutality gaining life actually might be relevant. Alright, you can have your initiative back. Alright, they get a treasure. Is technically relevant versus Flusterstorm. Alright, they're just doing it as a drain 2. Yes. Is this the same thing as last turn now? Where I just wait? No, I guess I want to be able to Force of Will, like hardcast Force of Will if I draw that. So I hit my opponent for 3, trap them down to 6, Brainstorm, Minor Misstep, not exactly great right now. We'll put back that and the land, probably intending to Ponder Shuffle. Fairy Mastermind? That is 5 damage next turn, putting my opponent to 1. My opponent's on a 2-turn clock anyway with Strix. I'm not expecting a lot of removal from them. Or flying blockers. I think I just shuffle this. I mean, Delta's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so my opponent gets Catacombs. Even if Seasoned Dungeoneer hits, this isn't lethal next turn. Only 8. I just can't fetch unless I have to. Few too many lands at the end here. Opponent goes to 3. I get to draw a card. Not what I'm looking for. I think I'm okay, but my opponent could like Throne of the Dead 3 for Archon of Cruelty. That's a thing that can happen. Yeah, so I'm at 1. Yeah, Archon of Cruelty. And that bleeds me out. Yeah, that is the GG. I will concede. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy keeping a hand that looks like this. And hopefully find a donate to do cool things with Demonic Pact. Might be playing against Delver. Be playing against Sneak and Show. First turn's a little awkward because I don't know whether or not I want to misstep or Thoughtseize for sure. And I probably want to play a basic since I don't know which one I'm playing against. I think I am going to lead on the Thoughtseize. Daze occurs. So could still be Delver, could be Sneak and Show. I don't know for sure. That fetch makes me think this is going to be a deck that cares about its graveyard count. I am correct. Super awkward that I don't have Minor Misstep up for that, but I do have Edicts in my deck and things like Baleful Strix. So hopefully that doesn't matter too much. Let's floop down a Strix. Oh man, God, every time I draw Fairy Mastermind, it just feels right. And Minor Misstep just a hair too slow every time here. Luckily, Nimble Mongoose is attacking me for exactly 1 point of damage here. Yeah, and this turn cycle will just be Fairy Mastermind backed by Minor Misstep. Sure, I don't have a donate right now. That doesn't get Minor Misstepped. Alright. I think I'm trading these. This Tarmogoyf is a problem that I'm not ready to answer yet, and so I think I need to buy time. Despite the fact that this card is an absolute banger, like, do I need to just do this here? Because otherwise, like, this is a 3/3 I can't deal with, and I can't deal with the Tarmogoyf either. This is depressing. Well, greatness at any cost? It feels like greatness at any cost. Don't stifle me. Nice. Demonic Pact, which has no immediate impact on the game. Unfortunately, it doesn't trigger when it comes into play. We'll take our 5 from Tarmogoyf and then try to do something cool. Fuck, a second Tarmogoyf in the shadow of the first. This is some bullshit. I'm out here just trying to do cool things with Demonic Pact. I think I make my opponent discard 2 cards first. Alright, there's the Wasteland that I played around all game. I cannot cast this Thoughtseize ever. And you know, we're what you call all in already. We're gonna go all in-er. And next turn I'm going to double... it's not a Lightning Helix. Whatever Lightning Helix, but for 4 is a Tarmogoyf. I'll eat 10 damage, that's fine. 4 damage. 4 damage. Stifle, get the fuck out. No. Not in my house. This house kills Tarmogoyfs with demonic packs! Okay, okay. So my opponent draws 2 cards and then they lose the game. They're following upkeep. Oh fuck, I think we're doing it. I already play around Spell Pierce. Oh shit. Choose target player, choose target permanent. 1, 2, 3, donate. Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. I'm gonna fucking lose it if they draw 2 lightning bolts and I die. Yes, they do also have Stifle in their deck. No, it's fine. I'll make them discard. with this Demonic Pact trigger. Oh man, I didn't even think of this, but like Fairy Mastermind also does some interesting things with Demonic Pact. If they randomly draw 2 cards, I also get cards. Okay, I think I designed this deck better than I thought I did. Don't double bolt me, please. That's a bolt. Oh, cool. I think it's just a Murktide Regent. A pre-combat Murktide Regent, though? That's weird. Oh shit, we did it. We did it. Mission accomplished. Okay, so the donate works. It works. And that's dope. I think I need another minor misstep. I don't think I'm interested in Force of Will in this matchup. Like, my opponent's just going to be better at navigating things on the stack than I am, so I don't want these things that are going to 2-for-1 me and then just eat a red elemental blast and I'll be sad. I think I want this misstep, I want this extra removal spell, back to basics, Plague Engineer, and Flusterstorms are also interesting to me. And I think I'm not interested in Echoing Truth. I'm just bringing in things with similar functionality. Echoing Truth on my own Demonic Pact is cool, but again, it's just another card that's going to eat it to a red elemental blast. Ooh. I don't know about this one. It has some really cool tools, but if this Brainstorm gets countered, or I don't hit another land drop, I think I'm just dead. I think I want to keep something that just innately has more mana. Yikes. That said, I think I keep this one. Ponder is better at finding the second land than Brainstorm is. Ponder looks at 4 cards, Brainstorm looks at 3. Brainstorm often traps you. Nice. I think I play this so that I don't expose my land to Stifle. And I think I lead on Thoughtseize over Ponder, because Thoughtseize doesn't eat it to red elemental blast. Oh, that is some cool Spell Pierce art. I didn't know this existed. If you make me spill my drink, you're buying me a new one. Okay. We'll see if we get Wastelanded this time. We do. Yep, that's fine. Okay, cool. So my opponent tapped out, which means that I do get an opportunity to fetch. Unfortunately, as of right now, I'm fetching an Underground Sea, because I just need both colors, and I can't get Island off of this. Yes, multiple lands, exactly what I'm looking for. We'll bury Fairy Mastermind, and I will take both lands. No shuffle. Yeah, this is looking fine. Like, Tarmogoyf gets scary fast. Yeah. Lightning Bolt is okay. I don't really know why that had to happen with that timing. That's not like the 7th card in Graveyard or anything. That seems like a pretty bad Lightning Bolt to me. I think I'm most interested in playing Fairy Mastermind on my opponent's turn, and then resolving Baleful Strix on my own turn. I think I take the one. I'm not interested in trading away Fairy Mastermind here, with Baleful Strix coming right around the corner. I don't expect this to work in one capacity or another. Like, I don't know if it gets countered, I don't know if it gets bolted. I don't expect it to work. This is my bait card. Ooh. Am I willing to take 3 damage to play Fairy Mastermind? Yes. Yeah, I think the answer is just yes. I'm gonna fetch in my opponent's upkeep here, I think. Not gonna give them another chance for a Stifle. It's suboptimal in terms of the Brainstorm that's in my hand, but I'm less worried about getting good value out of the Brainstorm if Fairy Mastermind lives. And it is an if. Like, my opponent fired off a Lightning Bolt very willy-nilly earlier. I'm gonna fire off a Brainstorm in response here. Mostly to help smooth out my decisions for next turn. Can't really play Demonic Pact yet. Alright, let's bury that. Do this. Mastermind's dead. This is a 3/3. I don't think that matters too much. Am I willing to pay 2 life for the card that's in my opponent's hand? If it's a red elemental blast, definitely. I don't think it is. Force of Negation. That's not particularly potent here, but it's a thing. Do I have a Fatal Push for a follow-up Tarmogoyf in the future? which seems like my opponent might have something like that here. They're just willing to just aggro trade these off instead of waiting for a lightning bolt. Oh, no. Opponent doesn't have it. Do I YOLO with Pact? I don't think I YOLO with Pact here, like, as much as I want to. With no cantrip in hand, and donate not necessarily being very safe right now. Oof. That's rough. This thing doesn't get killed by Demonic Pact, unfortunately. Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. Spell pierceable now. I will pay. I have not understood a large number of lines my opponent has taken this game. It's another Mongoose, which avoids Fatal Push, which is a problem. It also avoids Demonic Pact removal. I'm going to draw the 2 cards now. Strix is great. That kills a Mongoose. Blusterstorm. Not really what I'm looking for right now. I will fire off Drown in the Loch and Flusterstorm very aggressively. Why? What are you doing? Like, you've got cantrips. Like, use them to select for your cards. The marginal deck thinning doesn't matter. Alright, so I'll do 4 damage just so I gain some life here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep. My opponent's Hellvent. Target player. Target permanent. 1, 2, 3. They can make me discard 2. I'll get rid of Fatal Push and Thoughtseize. We won 2 games in a row with Demonic Pact and Donate in Legacy. This video is a fucking success. Alright. Did I keep a hand based on the fact that it has 2 copies of Fairy Mastermind in it? Yes. I can't lie to you, YouTube. I did. Tundra, fuck yeah, let's go. I can also, like, maybe just play a fair Demonic Pact, like, Echoing Truthed game, which is something that hasn't come up yet, but, like, is very much in the wheelhouse of things that I want to be doing. Assuming I think it will resolve, because, you know, there's definitely some fear. Alright, it's a land drop past the turn. I don't necessarily think that my first Fairy Mastermind is just going to do the thing that I want it to do. But I've got 2. I'm very willing to feed 1 to Swords to Plowshares so that I can attempt to actually get some cards off the second one. Yeah, I know. But I'm not willing to play Fairy Mastermind out ahead of time to telegraph it. Not in a Prismatic Ending matchup at the very least. Alright, looks like Fairy Mastermind is hitting play at the very least. And I've gotten to untap with it. I'll take that. Now there could just be a Terminus on top of my opponent's deck, for example, that my opponent is going to try to use to just, like, for a single white mana, answer this card. No. I mean, there could be a Terminus 1 more down. But I have nothing going on other than these fairies, so, like, we're getting in there. Nice. That makes me feel so very much safer. Oh shit, no Terminus again. Oh, is it just Supreme Verdict instead? I can't do shit about that. That's another fetch. Well, there are certain ways to counter a Supreme Verdict that the Jedi don't teach you about. Fuck off! No! No! Damn it! Damn it! I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I didn't have another blue card for that Force of Will to fight back there. I think I need to brainstorm here. My hand's pretty bad as of right now. I need to keep making land drops. Let's bury a Demonic Pact and another... Let's bury a Demonic Pact and a Sudden Edict. Play Ponder, almost certainly intending on shuffling. Yep. Shuffle. Play an Underground Sea. I am going to go ahead and deploy the Strix. My opponent's at 10 already from the beats that I did do. And now I have a Sheoldred's Edict for a Planeswalker that they play. That's not bad, honestly. An honest-to-goodness Plateau. Ponder's fine. Oh, I'm so sad about that Supreme Verdict. Staff of the Storyteller. Not particularly a fan of in the position that I am in currently. Like, it's very awkward for my Baleful Strix-based aggression. Let's Thoughtseize my opponent here and get a feel for what they have left over. Or not. Are we packing it up? I don't think I'm quite ready. I'm gonna go ahead and make them sacrifice a creature token. Continue to poke them. If I get their life total closer to like 6, I'm pretty comfortable with just like playing the Demonic Pact, assuming that I can actually just kill them. But I have no manipulation in my hand to help me find the donate here. Oof. That's quite good. That triggers the Staff of the Storyteller in addition to the normal value. This explains why my opponent has Plateau, because usually it's Volks as splash cards. But let's do this thing. Fairy Mastermind's great. Bam. Opponent's at 8. Demonic Pact is starting to look like a real kill card. I think I just let them draw that. And then with the Fable of the Mirror Breaker trigger on the stack, I Fairy Mastermind. Get punished by Hardcast Force of Will. Why do I talk when I record videos? Why do I do that? All it brings me is pain. Alright, so my opponent's attacking on in. I need to keep both my copies of Baleful Strix here, because I'm just trying to get my opponent into the range where Demonic Pact kills them. This will be Demonic Pact backed by Force of Will. And my opponent is in the range that I said I would be comfortable casting a Demonic Pact at. They are at 6. So let's go. Let's fuck around and find out. That's in play, baby. I need to deal 2 more points of damage to my opponent, and I have a Force of Will to protect my copies of Baleful Strix. I Force of Will it. What is it? It's Wandering Emperor. I don't know what this card does. Oh wait, it's just different art. I know what this card does. This can gain my opponent life with this -2 ability. So I Force of Will this. Get out. Oh, okay. That's not great for me. I'm taking roughly 4 per turn cycle. Another Staff, which will trigger both of them. Most notably here, this gives my opponent a creature token that blocks Baleful Strix. I need to deal 2 points of damage to my opponent. Just 2 measly points of damage. I think I get rid of my opponent's last 2 cards. So it's so bad to do that. They just have Staff. I'm gonna draw my own 2 cards here. We've had first Demonic Pact, yes. What about second Demonic Pact? Alright. I'll Thoughtseize my opponent. I guess I take the Shark Typhoon. I will resolve a second Demonic Pact. And next turn, I just hit my opponent for 8 with double Demonic Pact. Hell hath no fury like double Demonic Pact. Yeah, draw your cards. Can you Prismatic Ending for 4 colors? I think not. Okay, yep. So this allows them to draw another card if they're willing to tap the Tundra, but then I don't know what they're looking for at that point. Oh, I guess they could Prismatic Ending for X equals 4 with treasure tokens. I'll block the OG one here. Oh no, they actually have it. Again, I just shouldn't talk while I record videos. I'll win more. So, how am I supposed to do this here? I think my opponent discards 2 cards, is the line. My opponent can attack me for 3, plus this trigger would be 7. So that's still fine. I draw yet another Demonic Pact, I want to have done this option. I'm gonna have them discard too. Again, not the best in the face of double Staff of the Storyteller. I'm gonna hold that card for brainstorm purposes. And I need to find a donate or something else to do with this Demonic Pact next turn, or I lose to it. I don't think that's a real problem, though. Because, like, I will just lose to this Reflection of Kiki Jiki in another turn cycle anyway. Oh, sorry about that. I literally missed hitting the mute button. Hashtag skill game or something. Alright, I'm at 6. 4 damage. Do I choose my opponent's face? That way, if I draw another Demonic Pact, I can stack them. I think so. Twice. Okay. I'm not sure that I can win from here. We're gonna see if something weird happens with my opponent, like casting a Brainstorm into my Fairy Mastermind. No combat. I'll fetch. End of turn Fairy Mastermind. Legit counterspell. Donate would not have gotten me. The good news is we killed somebody with Demonic Pact. That was an amazing game. Okay, I would like back to basics for my opponent's mana base. I want Plague Engineer for their spirit tokens. I'll probably play Null Rod, honestly, to stop Staff of the Storyteller. I'm not the most excited about Fatal Push, but it is a thing that just kills, like, a Fable of the Mirror Breaker token. I guess I'm not the most excited about, like, 2-for-1ing myself with Force of Will here. Still with, like, a Sheoldred's Edict. Probably keep Echoing Truth. Could play another Minor Misstep. It's just very efficient at what it does. Maybe get rid of a Fatal Push. My opponent's deck is the cleaner control deck. Keep. We'll brainstorm away one of these donates. Alright. Let's ponder. Yeah, Delta and Strix both sound perfectly good here. I don't know when I want to brainstorm. I can just do it next turn and just guaranteed get rid of a donate. That's probably fine. Just playing Strix next turn and getting deeper in my deck before I brainstorm is also totally legit. Yeah, I think I'll take my guaranteed shuffle here. Let's pitch 1 donate, 1 Thoughtseize, and I will go ahead and do Swamp Thoughtseize my opponent here. I want to try to resolve Donate Demonic Pact. Taking Red Elemental Blast is really good. I just want to take my opponent's Ponder and operate with perfect information here. That Red Elemental Blast is very good long term. Just not good right now. I'm going to take the Ponder. There's the Plains. I'm going to attempt to Ponder here, see if my opponent wants to hyper-aggressively Red Elemental Blast. They do. I don't get to Minor Misstep back. I thought Ponder was not juicy enough that I might actually get to Ponder some portion of the time. This isn't good right now. Just the wrong time. I'll do it once I have a counter spell backing it up, which I will next turn. Oh yeah, like, please use your Prismatic Ending. Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, land drops are great here. I'm gonna go ahead and bash in with the Strix with the intention of doing end of my opponent's turn Fairy Mastermind with Minor Misstep backup. Alright, Mastermind. Opponent's kind enough to let me go to my turn here. Please don't, like, Shark Typhoon me. Yeah, I was ready for this. Just misstep that. Opponent's at 16. I'm going to go ahead and Null Rod them here. I'm going to just put, like, a tax on my opponent's resources in terms of, like, their Prismatic Ending. If they use it to get rid of Fairy Mastermind, the Null Rod is around long term. Yeah, it's a Bring Verdict's good. Alright. Opponent's got 3 cards. I know one of them. No Fear, Demonic Pact. Opponent is a hater. Damn it. I played out the extra land to play around a soft counter like a Spell Pierce. And now I wish I had the extra land in hand for Brainstorm. Yep. That is how that works. Double donate. I probably pitch both right now, given how this hand looks. And just kind of go deeper, trying to find something relevant to do. Yikes. Yeah, put back land. Fetch. Go for basics. I do have one back to basics that I can find. And I'll take that prismatic ending that I knew about. I think my opponent's quite favored in this current position. But neither one of us is in a particularly great spot. Like, my opponent's card advantage engine is temporarily offline. I was trying to set up for a demonic pact thing, and it just got answered. I'm going to hold that one. Yep. Okay, doesn't look like they're fetching immediately or anything. Strix is great. Again, Red Elemental Blast is kind of a kick in the teeth. Fuck, every time I have said a thing that they could have, they have just had it this game. Let me draw some cards. I want to draw some cards. I'm gonna counter that with my Echoing Truth. Unfortunately, my opponent can have a window to just play and activate a staff. Oh, but that might not be happening. Let's Null Rod. And I think I'll play this land, since it allows me to also play Sheoldred's Edict in this turn cycle if I need to. Double checked myself, they are spirit tokens. Although, honestly, I don't think Plague Engineer's making it around the table. My opponent's got to have something over there, and Swords to Plowshares just seems like about the sort of thing they should have. Well, my opponent untapped at the very least. Oh, they're going for Brainstorm rather than just swordsing my creature. Sure. Do I kill Snappy now? Might kill Snappy now. Non-token creature. Let's just kill that before they randomly have Force of Negation in hand to protect it and, like, remove my creature and just, like, I want them to be in this situation where they don't get to just tempo me out. If they have Fable of the Mirror Breaker specifically, it punishes this line. Yeah. Because I didn't wait to have the ability to get rid of that. Whatever. Creature token. I guess with Nullrod in play, the creature token matters less. But I have not gotten a Baleful Strix or a Fairy Mastermind going this game yet, and that has mattered a lot. Alright, that's 2 lands from my opponent. Dark Typhoon? Okay. Yeah, I've kind of fully failed at having any source of card advantage this game. This doesn't help. I'm fine punching my opponent for 2. It's very awkward if I Thoughtseize my opponent and they have Force of Will and they just cast Force of Will and get a 5/5 Shark. That is a prismatic ending, which I'm very happy to take, I guess. Because otherwise my opponent would have just tapped out to do this for a very large number. Yep. Plague Engineer is certainly not on Shark right now. Alright. Help me, Brainstorm. You're my only hope. Fuck off with these red elemental blasts. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. Moment of despair over. Opponent's got a land drop. Alright, they're just chilling. This is reasonable. So there's a fun little line my opponent can do at end of turn. Or not. So they could have made an extra shark token end of turn and then kept it to go to combat on their turn and be able to attack with more creatures. Yeah, so they have straight up just missed a point of damage for not activating Reflection of Kiki. Or sorry, it's not non-token, it's non-legendary. Alright, attempt Fairy Mastermind. How is it possible that they have this many red elemental blasts? How? Explain it to me. Damn it. I'll eat 3 to the sharks this turn. Going down to 6. Hate this. I don't know what it is, but I hate it. Okay, my opponent's not casting it, whatever it is. Oof. I'll be passing the turn here. Okay, now they are taking the shark line. I have to hold back this Plague Engineer so that this thing can't attack and just finish me off. But I don't really know what my out is to this board. I don't have like a Toxic Deluge or a Damnation or anything quite like that. Oh, it was a Timeless Dragon they had last turn, sure. They lose their shark token. Another land is certainly not going to do it. GG. Alright, final round here. I have kind of an average looking opening hand here. Are we playing against 8 cast? Playing against 8 cast, I think I have like 3. Yeah, I have 3 energy flux in the sideboard. Because I am very much on a I need to respect the shit out of 8 cast. Oh my god, that's so many artifacts. Anyway, very much in a I need to respect the shit out of 8 cast situation. More cards? What are you doing? Stop it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, I went from feeling okay to feeling just absolutely fucking dead in 1 card. Alright. I can see a path to victory. It's not likely. So many Lotus Petals. Sure. I don't think I'm fetching immediately. No covered swamp. That's fine. So I'm going to fetch with 2 of these. I will get 1 swamp and then 1 island. Now, even if Prismatic Vista were randomly to get Pithing Needled. Okay, there's a construct token. Anyway, even if Prismatic Vista were to get Pithing Needled, I now have enough mana to cast a Demonic Pact. Okay, sure. I don't want this to become bigger than a 4/4. Like, that matters quite a bit for me. Very Mastermind will be pretty good in this matchup. Oh god, that's horrifying. That's gonna make this construct much bigger than a 3/3. That is another card that gets countered by Chalice of the Void. Card effectively so far has been a 3-for-1. Okay, yeah, this is in theory fine, but in practice this probably just means that my opponent has... What are you doing? You get an extra point of damage if you do that pre-combat. The construct is just larger. Yeah, 2 extra points of damage missed here. 6, 7, 8, 9. Not technically dead next turn, but life's bad. Okay. Can I win with Demonic Pact? I take 9, go to 2. I Demonic Pact, kill Psy. Go to 6. Die to Construct. Sheoldred's Edict doesn't do it. Can't Fatal Push. I have Echoing Truth. Alright, I do have an out that I'm playing towards. I'm not fully just dead. But I'm pretty close to fully dead. So this attack sends me to 2. So I think I do try to kill Psy. And then find something to buy some time against the construct. I'm at 6. I whiffed. Fatal Push gets countered. Donate is not lethal. And I think I'm going to trust my opponent not to click on the button that says lose the game, so I'm not going to show them the donate. 3 energy flux. 1 null rod. Echoing Truth's good against tokens. I think I don't want to Thoughtseize my opponent. Like, as much as I want to punch the way for these to resolve, well, I might have some things that are worse. Like, I'm not interested in Minor Misstep for the most part. I probably go off 1 mana removal spells. That gets me most of this. I think I want another Sheoldred's Edict, so I want to cut 2 more cards. I think I keep both Force of Will and Thoughtseize to protect Energy Flux. Like, it just feels that important. Brown in the lock is situational. I could just not play one Sheoldred's Edict or one Sudden Edict. Sudden Edict, maybe? The ability to select token versus non-token is kind of a huge deal in this specific matchup. I could also Plague Engineer. I have a lot of cards that I want for this matchup. I also think I need Donate Demonic Pact. Let's do this. Yes. Don't mind if I do. Turn 2 Fairy Mastermind, into turn 3 Energy Flux, into turn 4 Demonic Pact. I like how this feels. Memory's good. Kappa Cannoneer and a Bauble in graveyard. I don't want fetches to randomly get Pithing Needled a little bit later on. Let's grab Island. And I think Underground Sea is fine, honestly. And then I'm going to go ahead and just pass my turn. They'll crack a Bauble, probably. Ooh, they don't crack a Bauble. Sure. It's fine. Toss on 1 resolves. Yes. Yes. I've revealed a Demonic Pact. We'll drop in the Fairy Mastermind, which will draw me another card on my turn because my opponent cracked 2 Baubles. When the second trigger resolves, I get another card. Yep. Looking good. I wish I had something else to bait out a counterspell for, like, fighting against Energy Flux here, but I just need to slam this card right now. Yep, there's a Force of Negation. It's fine. Like, if the Energy Flux is the bait, Demonic Pact can instead be the payoff. Alright, so Bauble. Ooh, Legend Rule. Into Psy. Yeah, Psy, Bauble, Emery feels rough. Oh, my opponent's just going to give me more cards. Or no, they did 1 Bauble. Sorry, it was 2 Mox Opals. Not 2 Baubles. I'll drop a Swamp. Drop Demonic Pact. Fuck. So my hand doesn't do anything anymore. The Ponder's dead, the Donate's dead, both of these lands are dead. I have a 4-card hand that is functionally a 0-card hand, which feels pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think my opponent needed both of those counterspells though. Like, I think Demonic Pact making it around the table and taking out either Psy or Emery puts this game, like, quite heavily in my favor. Another Chalice. Sure, that's fine. My opponent gets to see what I draw. 1 damage off Psy is fine. This is still very much a board that, like, me drawing an Energy Flux will just totally fix. So they get a card. It is a land. That's not what I want to see. I think I just activate this ability here. My opponent has already drawn a card this turn. So this will trigger this. Get me deeper into my deck. I can't attack with Fairy Mastermind anymore. And I think this game is fully becoming Can I Energy Flux. I have 2 more copies to find. Oh, they're going for a Kappa Cannoneer. That'll get me dead pretty fast. Again, the opponent has like 1 island and there's a second one. That's rough. That improves their situation quite a bit. Now they can keep a 5/5 Kappa Cannoneer. You're a card late, you jerk. So let's Strix. What about Brainstorm? That's not doing it for me. I think I need Energy Flux next turn, or I just have to concede. I think with my life total taking as much of a beating as it's about to take right now, and like countering this doesn't even stop Kappa Cannoneer from getting in this turn because of the let's yield to that, because of the trigger from Psy, which is on cast. Oh, they're sacking some stuff to draw a card. That gives me a card, which is super relevant here. You just need every look possible towards Finding Energy Flux. Alright, they cycled their baubles. Like, I intend on activating Fairy Mastermind end of turn, unless something changes. This connecting again is always just lethal, so I'm not going to bother to block the Thopters for 1 or 2 points of life. Oh, I don't think I beat that. Well, let's try to draw another card and find out. It's countered by Chalice. I get one more look from their 2 draws here, and then 1 look from my draw step. That is an Energy Flux. Holy shit. Those were good. Those were good draws. Wow, wow, wow. Cast Energy Flux. I have Force of Will to back it up. Okay. Pitch Sigh. Force of Will. Pitch Brainstorm. Again? Or are you just sacking to draw a card? Okay, you're just sacking to draw a card. That's fine. Okay, Energy Flux is in play. Hopefully I can finish this off with Sheoldred's Edict somehow. There's some triggers. So this is where we're at when the stack has cleared. I think I'm just dead. I need to do this and have them sacrifice a non-token creature. And then I need some other stuff to go in my favor. Okay, so if they can cast an artifact, I die. They have 6 cards in hand. Yeah, so there's the Kappa Cannoneer. It becomes unblockable. They were able to keep a Chalice in play. And that's just going to be the end of this. I was surprisingly close to bringing this back, though, which honestly is impressive, given how far behind I fell. So Chalice of the Void is a little bit of a problem card for this deck. That's good to know moving forward, and we end up with a respectable 2-3 finish. All right, we've reached the end of the league this one. Honestly, I felt really good about this attempt to win with Donate in Legacy. Like, we did the thing a couple of times, and the rest of the shell that I built was quite good without just overpowering the demonic pact stuff that was there that I was hoping to actually win the game with in the first place. So looking at the deck list one more time, if you want to try to turn this into a real Legacy deck, cut these 7 cards for probably 4 more threats. A couple of Murktide Regents are probably the low-hanging fruit here. You might want some Narsets for some alternative course of card advantage, or some other Planeswalker, you know, Jace the Mind Sculptor, whatever it is you want exactly. If you're going to take out Demonic Pact, you need both some other win condition and some other source of card advantage. That's going to be a thing that this deck is missing. And if you want to really kind of redo it, you could probably go into Esper here to pick up some better removal and some alternative win conditions. You could Staff of the Storyteller this shell up, I think, as well as another way to take this. I like the sideboard that I put together, like very much liked having 3 copies of Energy Flux. I was able to find 2 of them in the game versus 8 cast. Admittedly, I still did not win that game, but like I very much was like having a fighting chance. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any thoughts about how to build this differently, would love to read them down in the comments below. Consider leaving me a like on the way out. I hope you have a great rest of the day, folks. See ya.